Welcome to the Social Entrepreneur Podcast. Get engaged, get influenced, get connected. So welcome to a very special episode of the Social Entrepreneur Podcast. We are going to be doing a feature now once a month, and we're calling it the Social Entrepreneur Hotline. And what that's giving you guys the opportunity to do is to send your questions in, get on the phone live, ask the question live, talk about yourself, your business, what you're after, what you're up to, and hopefully that will resonate with a load of people that are out there sitting and watching tonight. Okay, I can't see the phones, but my team are monitoring it from behind, so if anything goes down, please scream and they'll answer it. We're going to do a little bit where we may answer some questions from the audience. We're going to go live with the podcast and we're recording it for YouTube. So my first question tonight is going to come from a man called Ollie. He's a young entrepreneur and he's got hopefully a great question. Ollie, how can we help?
Hello Joseph, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. How are you, my man?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Yeah, so my question is basically, I know you've been posting a lot about mentoring recently, and as obviously you know, but other people don't know, I'm part of your one of your mastermind groups.
Yep.
So my question is, what is the best bit of advice you've had from one of your mentors, and that has, been a turning point for you or catapulted your career?
Fantastic question. So I don't know if you guys can hear because Ollie's calling in off a mobile and he's on loudspeaker. So hopefully you can hear back there. Can they hear?
No, just say the question again.
Okay, so what Ollie's saying is he knows that I'm posting a lot about mentors. He's part of the mastermind group and he wants to know what the best bit of advice I was ever given from a mentor. Well, I was lucky enough to have Ollie, obviously Lord Sugar, as a mentor for about a year and a half, a 75-year-old billionaire that had done, seen, and probably experienced everything through his time and across his journey. And I remember one thing, and it seems very simple, but we've all some way made the mistake along the line. And the one thing that he said to me is, Joe, you must always understand your margin. Okay, and it's and you're going to get this, Ollie, because I know that you run a plumbing and heating business. And, sometimes, and business owners will do this, we will sell jobs, we will do work just to bring in turnover because it's vanity or we need to keep people busy. But actually, if there's no margin or there's no money behind what you're doing, it's really not worth doing. So, you must understand that every job must pay you, because if it doesn't, there's no point just doing it to break even, and there's no point doing it for a little bit amount of money. Well, I used to ask myself in the early days, and I'd always say, well, you know what, it keeps me busy, it keeps the guys busy out there on the road. But actually, some of the jobs we were either losing on or breaking even. And when I didn't really used to quantify how much profit I was able to make, I used to just do stupid discounts and stuff like that, and it seems so silly now. But understanding your margin, understanding how much you're going to make on every single job, and making sure that you are not a busy fool is critical. I remember there was a 3-month period, maybe in my second year, where I was doing thousands and thousands of pounds worth of work, and after all of it, I went and sat with my accountant and I was buzzing. I was like, we done 20 grand a month, and I was like, yeah, brilliant. But actually, you know what? He goes to me, Joe, you've not made any money. You're just doing the work. We hadn't lost any money, but we hadn't made any money either. And, I still didn't learn that lesson. And a customer would go, oh yeah, but that guy's quoted 2,500. Can you do it for 2,000? Yeah, okay, no problem. I'll match his price. Not understanding what my business requirements were or what his business requirements were. Our overheads were different. Our outgoings were different. And it's so important to always make sure that you're making money. And it sounds so simple, but it's a very easy mistake to fall into, yeah?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Good. Top man. Okay, thank you very much for your call, Ollie, and I will see you soon, my man.
Yeah, see you soon.
Take care, buddy. Bye.
And you, mate. Bye-bye.
Absolute fantastic question there from Ollie. Sorry, that's gone off again. Can you just spin it back and get the next one on? Absolutely fantastic question there from Ollie. Ollie runs a plumbing and heating organisation based down in South Kent, and he's actually on one of our mastermind groups. And he's absolutely smashing it and coming a long way. But understanding your margin in business is so important. Please don't chase turnover. Another story I can give you is just after I won The Apprentice, I got offered a £500,000 contract, and I won it straight away. And it was 200 new build properties where we were going to do the central heating systems and the boilers. And it was 500,000, and I was like, yeah, wow, huge contract value. And you know what? It was actually no margin. It was only about 10% over 2 years. It was terrible. And you know what, guys? You just make sure that you're always making money. The hotline is all about answering questions for you guys. I think you can sit and take and listen to podcasts and people talk and they speak about generic stuff, but I want questions. I need to know what you need to know so I can share my experiences. I've taken my business from a one-man band all the way up to 5 million turnover at the moment, and we're planning to double that in the next 12 months. But you know, there's a lot of information inside me that I can give to you guys. You got another one on the line? Okay, good. We're just dialing through. Loads of you sent in questions today, and what we don't actually have at the moment is an automated system that we can bring in a proper sound system. Because listen, it's our first show. We're in my apartment still, and we're building up to get a studio next year. But I think while we're waiting, I'm going to take a question from Janine. She can't be with us tonight, unfortunately, on the phone, but it was sent through earlier through Instagram. And what Janine is saying is how to beat depression. How do you beat depression and get motivated? Now, for me, right, motivation has always been quite an easy task. I'm quite good at getting myself motivated and getting myself pumped up. But in 2018, I did hit a patch of depression for a good few months, and I was getting up and I was really struggling, and I lost my vision and I couldn't see a way forward, and I didn't really know where I was going, and I felt all a little bit lost. And I think everybody feels like that at some point in their life, and we can go in and out of it, but it's actually quite normal. And I think that all you need to know is that a negative mind will never give you a positive life. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And as hard as it is, you need to take footstep by footstep and only very small steps towards the light. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and things can change for the better, but only if you want them to, only if you start getting excited about what can happen and stop focusing on what might go wrong. Hopefully that helps, Janine. I think we've got somebody else in the background. Okay, great. Hi, Adam. How you doing?
Yeah, good mate, how are you?
Yeah, very well, very well. How can I help? What's the question?
Right, so I'm 17, right? From the Millennial generation.
Yep.
A little marketing company, and I'm like a 10x mindset, etc. But so many millennials feel entitled, like my generation, entitled to things and have an average mindset.
Yep.
What advice would you give them, typical millennials today, to change their mindset and becoming more successful?
Okay, absolutely fantastic question. So Adam's 17, he's saying that he's a millennial, he's got a little marketing company that he started, he wants to 10x everything, you know, and be very successful. Love that, by the way, great energy. And what he's saying is that a lot of millennials feel entitled, that they don't have to do anything, that things should be provided for them, and what would be the right advice for them. Well, I think if you have, for these guys, and my advice would be, if you've got a mindset like that, you are going to lose. All I ever realized in mid-teens and actually over the last 10 years when things go wrong is that no one is coming to save you, right? When things go to shit or you're not getting anywhere, don't expect life to reward you with, you know, a lottery win or some lucky thing is going to fall on your lap, because that's not how the universe works. You get in and you get out what you put in. Okay, that's very, very important. And you can sit there entitled, and they will stay entitled for the next 50 years, and nothing will ever change in their life. So what you must realize is that actually by being entitled, all you're ever doing is harming yourself, because you need to realize that you don't get anywhere if you don't put in the work, and actually that's what's required. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think it's ridiculous some days, like some millennials nowadays. It's entitlement to everything.
Yeah, and it doesn't help because everybody is babied now. You can't say boo to a goose. Everybody wants to go on strike about anything that's ever said, and they're more bothered about striking and what's wrong with the political system, or crying about vegan or gender or whatever it is, and not focusing on their own life. Now, for me, I don't really give a shit about what goes on in the outside world. What I care about is what Joseph Valente is going to create for himself and, his family and his friends and his work colleagues, and what that lifestyle is going to be like. And, people can go on focusing and putting their energy on the wrong things, right? You have a limited amount of energy. You imagine having 100% energy every single day, right? That energy has to be proportioned and put into separate sections. So if you go and every morning you're going on Facebook and you're spending time putting your energy, 50 or 60% of it, into commenting on stuff and having debates and stuff on Facebook, right? You use 60% of your energy for that day for something that's not going to give you any return on your investment. Now, you need to use that energy that you get given every single day to put it into things that are going to help you and are going to give you a return. So it's about focusing your energy in the right areas, yeah?
Yeah, I love it, mate. We're going to smash 2019.
Yeah, boy, that's what we like to hear. Listen, thanks for the call, and I think it's your job as a 17-year-old entrepreneur to start putting that messaging out, start educating people on social media, and give your people a kick up the arse and get them on the game, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Top man. Take care, bro. Bye-bye.
Take care, mate. Bye.
Sweet, okay. Fantastic question, absolutely awesome question there from Adam. Young entrepreneur, very motivated, and he can see what's wrong with, I might say all of his generation. I don't like labeling a generation. I think it's an individual. It means, a generation of millennials entitled. I get that, but actually it's the individuals that are giving it a bad name. He's not an entitled millennial. He's doing his thing. So, the thing with entitlement, all you're ever doing is hurting yourself. It's coming back on you, right? What you're going to do? Like, I'm waiting, it's not fair, crying about it. That should have gone my way. That didn't go my way. No one's going to help me. No one's going to support me. I should have got that job. I should have got that pay rise, but I didn't. But ultimately, no one gives a shit. So what are you going to do about it? You're just going to sit there and cry, or are you going to go, actually, I'm going to go and fight for what's mine? And that's something that everybody must do, and either you're going to listen to what I'm saying or you're going to think Joe's talking a load of shit, but either way, I'm going to win, and hopefully you guys win too if you listen to what I'm saying. Right, we've got another question here from Corey from the USA. What age should you start investing in assets? Okay, so this is an important one. I think you should start investing in assets when you have the ability to understand what you're investing in. So if you've only got $5,000, don't go and put it straight into trying to get just one property, right? And think that getting on the property ladder is what you need to do because that's what society tells you. When I was 22 years of age, I had the choice. Right, I'd come back from Australia and I was like, right, I'm on a 40 grand a year job. Shall I buy a house? Which everybody was telling me to do. Get a house, you've got a good job, which was actually going to tie me into a mortgage for 40 years or plus, okay? Or was I going to invest in a business? Now, I knew that short term, I was going to have to keep renting and wasting my money, but long term, the asset and the investment in the business would pay me an abundance of money and I'd be able to buy houses over and over and over again when the business really took off. And that's exactly what I did. So I think it's important that you understand what you want from life before you even look at holding assets. And a business is an asset that can keep paying you and that will allow you to buy more assets. And you're putting your money into a mortgage and locking down the first 20 grand at 21 you ever make, okay, and then being tied into it. And then you don't take risk. Oh, I can't take any risk now because I've got a mortgage, and you know, what if that goes wrong? Then you're de-risking your whole life. Then you don't dare jump to the next level, right? Then you have a missus that moves in, or you have a fella that moves in, and then you have a kid a year later. Now you're double fucked because you can't do anything, because then it's all about de-risking. Don't get me wrong. I mean, some of you are probably going in there, you know, what does he know? I love my kid to pieces and it's the best life I've ever had. Great. And this advice isn't for you, and don't think I'm talking that down in any shape or form, because what makes you happy makes you happy, and everybody should choose that. But for people that want to invest and build and you know, work in a business world, you know, it's very, very important that you only put it into stuff that is going to continue to pay you. Right, I think we've got somebody else on the line. Hi, Sam. How you doing? Yes, very, very well, very well. How can I help, Sam?
Right, I've got a question. I'm currently working full time, but at the same time I'm going to start my own business.
Yep.
What's your advice? How do you like balance both? What do you
I
because I work from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then it's like after 5 p.m. You know, how do I balance both? And how
Yep, great question. Can I ask what type of business you're going to start?
I want to do like an event management, like a planner for like weddings and stuff.
Yep. Okay, fantastic question. Okay, so what Sam is saying, I'm just going to repeat it so the guys on the social can hear. So Sam is saying that she works a 9 to 5 and she wants to start a business, which I think loads of people are in this situation. But where do you find the time and what do you do about it? So I think, you know, when you get, what you want to do is you need to section out your day, right? You go 6 hours sleep, you've got 18 left. You're going to be at work for 8, you've got 10 left. That means, you know, after you've done your travel, you've eaten your food, let's add another 3 hours. You've got 7 hours to do what you want to do and start to get to work on yourself. Now, that means that you're cutting out TV. It means you're cutting out the gym. It means that you're cutting out watching anything or getting distracted by anything that isn't directly related to helping you build your dream and your empire. Excuse me. So I don't know whether you have kids or not. No, okay, so no kids, great. So even more time for yourself. But what it means is that you have to be disciplined, and the desire to build the business has to be over and above wanting to get in and chill and relax and put music on and watch TV. And it takes discipline and it is hard, but you don't have to use those whole 7 hours straight away and go from 0 to 100, right? You just need to start doing half an hour a night. Then you can increase it to an hour a night. Then you go to 2 hours a night. You know, if you do an hour a night over a whole month, that's 20 hours. You know, if you do it 7 days a week, you've then got 28 hours that you're going to be able to have worked on yourself and invested on yourself. That's nearly a whole week's work. And that will allow you to progress. And then you build it up and build it up and build it up. And you need to get it to a point where it's starting to make you money or make you enough money that eventually you're able to quit your job and take it on full time. But that first period is very, very difficult. And it takes an abundance of effort, a real abundance of effort. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, I've been trying to sort of like focus on that as well. It's just because, you know, when you get home, you're really tired of some of the sleep and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to try to like obviously set half an hour aside and then try to sort of plan and then take it from there.
Okay, good. So let me tell you what I did today. So I got up at 5:30 a.m. I spent 45 minutes working out. I had a massive coffee, right? I then went to work. I did a solid shift all the way through to about 7 p.m. I drove straight home. We set up all of the podcast and everything else. I had another massive coffee and we're still going. Okay, so coffee really helps, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get from that point. But ultimately, that's what's required. I know you're tired, but you need to fuel yourself, and the desire to build your business has to be bigger than being bothered about being tired or being bothered to watch TV. So after this call, I'd say to yourself, listen, how much do I really want this? Am I going to play at it? Am I going to part-time it? Or am I going to fucking go 100 into it? Because if that isn't the answer, then just quit now. Right? Because you're never going to get it off the ground. Especially when you're working a 9 to 5, you may as well just stop. And I don't want that to be demotivating, but you have to realise what it's going to take to get there. It's not going to be easy. So, you know, if you're starting to do it, that's great. And then also, the other thing is making sure that, you know, if after a while you realise that it's not, you're not able to run it while you're doing it part-time, if it needs you to go full in, whether you're going to take the leap, whether you're going to take out a loan to fund the time where you're not getting any wages, or whether you're going to sack it off and try something else that's different and can pay you in smaller increments quicker. Yeah?
I'll definitely try to see if this works, and if it doesn't, just try a different one. And if I don't have no time, then try to sort of quit my job and see if I can, you know, fully take on the business. But I'll just take from there. But thank you for your advice.
No problem. Thank you very much for calling in. Have a great evening. Take care.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Bye. Okay, awesome. This is fantastic. How we doing? Is everybody good on the lives? We still tuned in. We still got sound. We've got good quality this week. Okay, fantastic. That's great. I might take a couple of questions from the live, so pick a few as we go through. If you've got any questions that you want Brandon to pick up now and to tell me, then fire them in the next 30 seconds. We're probably going to do 2 more calls. This was meant to be a 15-minute hotline bling, but actually we've ended up going to about 20 odd minutes now. So what else have I got? Amy says, how do you get respect from older people in the workplace? Absolutely fantastic question there, Amy. Getting respect from people in the workplace that are older than you doesn't come easy, especially if you've taken a position that's higher than them, or you're trying to get them to buy into what you're doing, or whatever it is. But the way to be able to control any situation like that, and I've been able to do it since I was very, very young, is by having the knowledge, because that gives you the power. Knowledge is power. No one, can question me in my business or my industry, because I know everything there is to know. I am a master of the game. I have spent so many years working in different environments and learning this thing inside out that, don't get me wrong, there are questions that I don't always know. But if anybody tries to test me, or anybody tries to question my authority, should I say, they're never able to do it, because I know my shit. So knowledge is power. You need to learn, then you will gain respect. Hopefully that one helps. Hi, good evening, Toby. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Awesome, fantastic, buddy, and thank you very much for calling in. How can we help?
I just wanted, my question is that how are you, you've written a book?
Yep.
Fantastic book, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Very good. What were you feeling like? My question is, how did you feel when you were writing it? What were you going through?
Okay, so what Toby's saying is, how did you feel about, he said it was a fantastic book. I'm going to bring that one up. Thank you very much, Toby. It's Expelled from the Classroom to Billionaire Boardroom, available on Amazon. But he said, how did you feel about writing the book? Well, do you know why I wrote it? The real reason why I wrote it is because after I bought Sugar Out, I was free again. Right? I wasn't allowed to do anything in the 1.5 years that I was with him. And I felt like, you know what, actually, from being expelled at 15 to where I am now, I've got a story to tell. And, people are going to like it. Some people might hate it, but I don't really care. I want to get it out there and see how it goes down. So how does it feel about writing a book? And I believe everybody's got a book in them, by the way. You might not think you've got enough stuff to say, but I believe that everybody has their own story, and it's a story that people do want to listen to. So if you're interested in writing a book, get cracked on with it. I really enjoyed it, actually. I think in the early days, it brought back a lot of emotional memory from my upbringing and childhood, and you know, we went quite deep into it. I wanted to be real and honest and pretty brutal because I think that's the only way that people can buy in. And then actually, as I started to repeat everything, I got really excited and then a little proud of, you know, the stuff that I was able to achieve. You know, it was great to relive the memories on The Apprentice and the people, and, you know, that I've met and had been part of my journey throughout the whole time. And I just realised my shirt was undone. I hope that's not going to be undone for the whole of the video. Sorry, just dropped that there. And yeah, no, it was really, really good. Are you interested in writing a book? Is that why you ask, or? Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's so good, man. Actually talking to somebody who won The Apprentice.
Oh, good man. Well, listen, I reckon you should get applying. They're asking for people now, so why don't you have a go?
I would, but I've got a business plan, so.
Good. All right, Toby, you're a legend, mate. Thank you very much for your call, and
Thanks very much. This guy's great, by the way.
keep it up, buddy. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right,
Thanks,
we've got someone on Instagram, Tom. He says, what assets would you suggest investing in?
Tom, listen, the biggest asset that you can ever invest in, my friend, is yourself. Okay, that is who you must invest in. I don't know where you are in your cycle, so maybe you're either further on or you're at the beginning, but continuing to invest in yourself, okay, will give you the ability to invest in assets. Now, I can't tell you to invest in stocks, property, a business, invest, okay, because I don't know what you know and I don't know where you want to go. So each one of these things has a different behavior, a different journey, a different payback time, okay? But investing in yourself with knowledge, education, and going to courses, meeting people, getting better, getting stronger, will actually give you all of the ammunition that you need to be able to make the right decisions when you understand the real detail of which asset you want to go to. Hope that helps, buddy. You got another one there?
Yep. Fergus says, do you believe in looking for a passive income in what you do?
Yeah, I think it depends what type of business that you're in, but I think if you're able to get passive income, you know, it really, really helps. So at the minute, Impregas is a boiler installation business, right? Now, and I always refer back to my journey so I can give you an accurate perspective. So we sell boilers every day. We're selling hundreds of thousands of boilers a month, right? But every day my sales team are out there acquiring new customers, acquiring new business. Now, every day we have to find new sales. If we don't find new sales, we don't make any money. If we were a communications company that sold 5-year leasing contracts, then actually all you've got to do is make one sale and then you're paid for 5 years. All right, you've got to support it with service, but you know what your regular income is going to be, your regular margin, what's required to do the job, you know, and it's a lot easier. What we are going to do, and I think this is where you can make you know, the perfect gem of a business, is when you're able to operate a sales model, bringing in new installation revenue, and then having a product like ours is going to be Impricare, the home care solution to monthly revenue, where they're going to pay 20 quid a month to us to fix their boiler and look after it and give them 24-hour call out. So we make the initial sale, make a margin there. Sorry, then they're supported each year, every year, by the recurring money. So that's what I would look for. Passive income's great. New sales are great. If you can get the right mix, then you're onto a fucking winner. Got anything else firing up?
Yeah, I've got Joe on Instagram. He says, what's the best way to get started making money as a teenager?
Okay, so Joe, what do you like, my friend? Is it mobile phones? Is it computer games? Is it clothes? Is it trainers? Is it watches? You know, all of these things can give you a great start. I think if you want to do it as a side hustle, it must be a passion of yours. You must know a little bit about it. I hustled my way all the way up from age 7, selling football stickers, selling sweets, selling cigarettes, selling phones, computer games, you know, whatever it was, I always knew a little bit about it and I could always make money. You know, we said go down to like Skegness Market, you know, and buy all of the fake Nike tracksuits and trainers and bring them back to Peterborough and then double the price on them. And it was awesome. And, you know, that's what I used to do. So the best way to make money is to pick a product, okay, that you can buy for a tenner, and then see if it's got the ability to be able to sell it for 20, and then, you know, start that way. Very straightforward, very simple. You know, mobile phones I'll go back to. I used to go to the car boot sales every Sunday. I'd go in there. There used to be two Asian guys that had a table out of mobile phones. And me and them I was only about 13 at the time. I was going there with a new mobile phone every single week. And no, they weren't stolen. They were ones that I'd buy from kids from school for like 20 quid. And then I'd go there and sell them to them for 50 quid. You know, and whatever it was. So hopefully that helps too. Right. I think...
One more question.
Okay, great. Let's do one more question, and then we're going to say good night.
Yes, so we've got someone on here saying, do you think it's a better idea to sell yourself as a brand or the brand sell itself?
What's the name?
It's a name called GNR Contracting.
Okay, so do you think you should put yourself as a brand, or do you think... what's the question again?
So basically, is it better to sell yourself as the brand or have the brand sell itself?
Okay, so I assume by JNR Contracting is the business. So should you be the business's brand or should you be your own brand? Well, I think in the early days of any business, you are the brand, regardless of what it is. I think, you know, you're the one pushing it, driving it, and everybody knows you for it. I think there comes a time in any business's life when you need to separate yourself from the identity of. I mean, you know, do you want to sell it? You know, are you not the right person to be repping the brand when it gets to a certain level? There are a number of different things to look at. If it goes wrong or if it messes up, people are going to come after you directly. You know, so I decided after a while that, you know, I'm not separating myself from the Improgas brand because Improgas is my business, but there's Joseph Valente as a person with his own likes and, you know, with his own wants and, you know, and his own style outside of being a managing director of a company. And I have my own brand, the Social Entrepreneur, or there is a business brand in Improgas that's now got 60 people in it that is a professional corporate business that really doesn't want one person's name associated to it. People will not see Improgas as Joseph Valente anymore like they used to. Improgas to our customers is a company. You know, I'm the MD of it, but a lot of people now especially don't know that I'm involved in it. You know, they just know they're dealing with Improgas. So I think there comes a time when you should separate yourself if you want to, but you have to decide on that. And I think all I can give you is my experience, and I really do hope that helps. Let's finish with one more and then we'll call it.
Okay, so we've got another question up here. Let me just find it again. It's just gone up a little bit. What are your 3 key values? And that's from Stephen.
Okay, so my 3 key values are, number 1, being honest with the people that I meet, the people that I do business with, but most importantly, myself. Okay, I don't want to ever lie to myself because that makes me deluded and it doesn't really highlight where I want to go. Number 2 is to have a ridiculous, crazy, wild ambition that sets my soul on fire for when I want to go to work in the morning, to when I want to get up, to when I'm prepared to spend 18 hours a day doing something that I love, having that crazy ambition. And number 3 is always deliver. Okay, everything that I've ever said that I'm going to do, I've done. Right, I don't talk for the sake of it. I don't dream about bullshit. I act on my goals and my life. And delivery and execution is what separates people from the thinkers and the doers. Good night. That was the Social Entrepreneur Hotline, episode 0001. I'm going to see you here sometime very soon. As I said, this is a once a month feature. Take care. Peace out. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Social Entrepreneur Podcast. Please continue to download, share with your friends, but most importantly, let me give something back. come on over and join our international Facebook community. It's JV Social Entrepreneur. Go there, find it, search it. We'd love for you to leave a review, and we'd love for you to follow our social media for more updates and for more insights. That's at Mr. Joseph Valente, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Let's get it, let's grow.